You've always been hard to catch. It started on the playground. You'd run with the ball while kids chased you in every direction. You'd juke left, spin right, and outrun them all. Nobody could grab you. Nobody could bring you down. They just called you the one with the moves. So they put you in the backfield, told you to run it, handoff, explode, dodge, repeat. You loved it. You felt alive when you had the ball in your hands, like the field was yours and no one could stop you. And even when they tried, even when they caught you, you kept going. You fought through arms, you slipped tackles, you popped back up after every hit like it was nothing. But those hits, they start adding up early. You're the youngest player learning how to fall right, how to get hit and stay loose, how to land without breaking something. You train your body not just to run fast, but to take damage. Because in this job, pain is part of the plan. Coaches call you a natural. They praise your footwork, your vision, your balance. But what they don't say out loud is that you're already on a clock. From the start, every carry brings you one step closer to worn down. You get used a lot. If the offense isn't working, they hand it to you. If the quarterback is rattled, they hand it to you. If the team is down, they hand it to you. Because running backs fix everything, until they don't. You take the handoff and crash into a wall of helmets. You feel arms wrap around your legs. You feel the weight of 3 bodies dragging you to the ground. And still, the coach says again. You don't complain. You just breathe through the soreness, line back up, and do it again. You get good at hiding pain, at stretching without letting anyone know you're stiff, at limping with your chin up so no one asks questions. Because if you say you're hurting, they'll find someone else. And if they find someone else, you're done. You don't get time to ease into the role. From day one, you're a target. The defense wants to hit you hard and early. They want to wear you out. They want you to think twice before cutting inside again. But you don't think twice. You keep cutting, you keep sprinting, you keep lowering your shoulder and driving through the pain because that's your job. That's your identity. You're not just fast, you're fearless. But deep down, even now, you know something the fans don't. You know the hits don't go away. You know your body's keeping score. You know your time is ticking. But you run anyway. High school turns you into a highlight. The crowd sees the touchdowns, the stiff arms, the jukes. They cheer when you break 4 tackles and score from midfield. They call you a star, a workhorse, a future D1 back. But behind the scenes, you're getting torn apart. You carry the ball 20, 30 times a game. You're the offense. When the quarterback's off, it's your turn. When the line breaks down, it's still your turn. When the team needs momentum, they put it on your back. And you carry it, but it costs you. You get hit every play. Even when you don't have the ball, someone's diving at your knees. You get clipped in piles, twisted under bodies. You get up slow and act like nothing hurts. But it always does. Your coach tells you to be tough, that running backs don't take plays off, so you don't. You hide the bruises, ice your ankles, pop your shoulders back into place, and keep running. Because if you ask to sit out, people talk. He's soft. He doesn't want it. Guess he's not that guy after all. You start to feel like a punching bag in pads. The line misses a block. You eat the hit. The quarterback misreads the defense. You still get the blame. And the defense? They're out to break you. You're the one they circle in film study. You get yards and they say it's expected. You don't? They say you fell off. It's never enough. You stay late after practice, work on cuts, foot placement, ball security. You study film just to survive. Every defender has a move. Every field has a hole you know to avoid. But no one talks about the mental side, about what it feels like to take 100 hits a week and smile like you're fine. You're in the weight room before school. You ice your knees before class. You go through the day moving slow while people tell you how fast you looked last night. You start noticing little things. How your joints don't feel right, how your hips lock up, how your back gets tight before warm-ups are even done, but you don't stop. Because the team needs you. Because this is your role. Because if you don't get those yards, nobody else will. So you dig deeper. You find ways to get up after every hit. You learn how to fall without breaking, how to break without showing it. You know your name gets cheered. But your body's the one paying the price. College football is faster, meaner, smarter. You're not the biggest anymore, not the strongest. You're one of many now. All fast, all talented, all chasing the same 5 inches of daylight between defenders. The coaches don't care what you did in high school. You're starting over. You don't get touches right away. You run scout team drills. You block for the starter. You take hits in scrimmage so someone else can shine on film. When you finally do get carries, they're up the middle. No protection, no setup, just you, a wall of bodies, and the whistle you pray comes before your ribs crack. You learn to run angry. You learn to lower your shoulder harder. Because soft doesn't survive here, you train harder than ever. Film, weights, practice, repeat. You've got to make every rep count because another guy's waiting to take your spot. He's a freshman with fresher legs. Or a transfer with a little more speed. It doesn't matter. If you slip, even once, you fall behind. The holes don't stay open long. The defenses are smarter. The linebackers read your cuts. Safeties hit like trucks. Even when you break free, you're still bracing for the next shot. There's always another hit coming. And the worst part? When the stats don't come, people think you disappeared. You run for 58 yards on 19 carries. Tough yards, dirty yards. But no touchdowns? No highlight runs? They say you're slowing down. They say you've lost a step. They don't mention that the line missed assignments, that the defense stacked the box, that you still fell forward after every hit. None of that makes the box score, but it sticks to you. You wake up sore every day. Ankles, hips, shoulders. You ice before practice just to get through it. You wrap your fingers so the ball doesn't slip when your knuckles swell. You tape your ribs and tell yourself it's just a bruise, even when you know better. You block more than you run. Pass protection becomes your second job. You take on blitzing linebackers without flinching, and no one cheers. But if the quarterback goes down once, it's your fault. You keep your head down, you stay ready, because when your number's called, you can't miss. You can't fumble, you can't trip. You've waited too long for too few chances. The glory's still there sometimes, a touchdown, a spin move, a breakaway run. But they come slower now, fewer and farther between. You wonder how long your body can hold out. You wonder if the next hit will be the one that changes everything. You make it to the league, you're one of the few, the lucky ones, the ones who beat the odds. And still, you feel disposable? The welcome isn't soft. They hand you a playbook the size of a phone book. They tell you the blitz pickup rules before they teach you how to breathe. They test your legs on day 1 and your toughness on day 2. Nobody coddles you. Nobody cares what school you came from. You're expected to be ready, always. You get your reps, but they're timed, controlled. You're back in a rotation now, and rotation means risk. If you can't shine in 5 carries, they'll give those carries to someone else. Cheaper, younger, less worn. The hits come faster, the windows close quicker, the defenders are smarter. Everyone's trying to punch the ball loose. Everyone's trying to end your play, and maybe your career, on every snap. You run angry. You run with your chest forward. But you're tired. You've been tired for years. You've taken more hits than anyone on the field. You get hit whether you gain 5 yards or lose 2. You get hit even when you don't have the ball. Fake handoffs, decoy motions, pass protection. You're a moving target, always one step from collision. And when the game's over, they look at your numbers like that's all you are. 3 yards a carry? They forget the broken tackles, the missed blocks you covered, the 4th and 1 conversions you dragged across the line with a linebacker on your back. They forget everything but the box score. You hear the whispers, he's slowing down. He's had too many carries. He's almost done. You're 26 years old, and they're already talking like you're ancient. You start thinking about contracts, about guarantees, about how many games it would take to earn 1 more year, about what it would cost to keep going. And your body's answering that question louder every week. The swelling lasts longer, the bruises go deeper, the recovery gets harder. You ice after games, you wrap your joints for walkthroughs, you pop Advil just to put your socks on. But on Sunday, you still carry it, because there's no safety net, no mercy, no patience. You either produce or disappear. And even when you give them everything, even when you leave it all on the field, they draft your replacement before the season ends. That's the business. You don't get to be the face of the franchise, you're not the poster boy anymore. You're the one they ride into the ground and then move on from. You're the one who made it. And somehow, that still doesn't feel like enough. You've carried a lot. The ball, the pressure, the pain. The praise when things go right, the silence when they don't. You were the spark, the safety valve, the battering ram. The one they handed the ball to when the game was on the line, and the one they forgot about the second it ended. You've been hit more times than you can count. Some you shook off, some you still feel. You've run through defenders, through injuries, through doubt. And still, they ask if you're slowing down. You've learned how to be explosive after hours of recovery. How to be fearless even when your legs don't feel fresh. How to protect the ball, protect the quarterback, protect the win, even if no one protects you. You've had games where you touched the ball 30 times and still walked to the locker room like a ghost. You gave everything. You limped to the bus. And no one said your name on the highlight reel. You've blocked on 3rd downs for quarterbacks who barely made eye contact. You've sold play actions like your life depended on it. You fought for every inch and still got blamed for a drive that didn't go anywhere. But you keep showing up. Because even with the pain, even with the pressure, there's a moment. When the hole opens, when the crowd rises, when the linebacker whiffs, where it's just you and green grass. That's what you chase. That moment, that silence, that stretch of daylight only a running back gets to find. You don't do it for the glory. You do it because you were built for this. You remember the first time you scored. Not the celebration, the feeling. The way the ball felt in your arms. The way your body didn't hurt until after. The way the team looked at you like you mattered. That was the moment that made you believe this position was worth it. And it still is. Even when it wears you down. Even when the trainers are the only ones who know what it takes for you to suit up each week. Even when the next rookie is waiting, younger, cheaper, untouched, you still carry it. Because this is what you were made to do. You're a running back. That's why it sucks to be a running back, and that's exactly why you never stop showing up.